Welcome to the Ball is Wife podcast. My name is Andrea Hurley, wife of Dan Hurley, coach of the Yukon Huskies. I married into a basketball family over 25 years ago, and there's still a lot more to this game that I'm trying to figure out.
I'm Nicole Kellogg, wife of Derek Kellogg, head coach of the LIU Sharks in Brooklyn, New York. I've had a courtside view of college basketball for over 20 years, and I could talk about almost anything you want to know except X's and O's.
Hi, everybody. We just had on my mother-in-law and sister-in-law for a very special podcast because we've been getting some DMs about from other coaches' wives about having a daughter of a coach come on and just talk about her experiences. Now, I can't relate because I didn't grow up in a sports world, but
I can relate to that. So that was really cool. First of all, it's so cool to finally meet your mom, your mother-in-law, and your sister-in-law. You talk so much about them. Really interesting stories, totally relatable to a girl, especially growing up with two older boys, brothers, like sports family, the dynamics. I mean, it sounds like Melissa's held up really well, and you'll hear in the interview, she's kind of taking it all in stride. And your mother-in-law seems like that typical rock coach's wife. And it was really, I admire them both. It was a really cool interview for me. I enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Melissa she's the younger sister of two older brothers, my husband, Danny, her older brother, Bobby, who's older than Danny. And they all played basketball. My father-in-law is a Hall of Fame high school basketball coach for over 40 some years. The girl was born into this life, and she was born into just just a life of people working hard to get where they, where to reach their goals. And,
Sure.
When you're a girl like that, going through that and you see that, it's a lot. It's a lot. And my husband says she got away with murder because she was the girl and she didn't have to work as hard as my husband always says that, she got to do whatever she wants and we had to be out there, but you know what? She grew up to be just like a special person. Like she has the biggest heart. She has the biggest personality. She could talk to a homeless man. She does. She talks to everybody because she just has that personality that she's been around so many people all her life. And, she's had to, adjust herself to, being like, a little girl play to like somebody who, just got dragged around to different sporting events, which I mean is not always easy because you either win or lose, and sometimes it's not always, the greatest thing in the world when, it's exciting and everything, but if the outcome isn't what you expect, then, she suffers, like everybody suffers.
Sure.
But, she grew up, she became a teacher. Now she's a kindergarten teacher. She bounced around, which she absolutely loves. And she just has that heart that, that she's just well-rounded and outgoing. And, she just makes, I always say this about her. It's like, we'll be at a party, like we'll have things at our house. It's Melissa who, brings the, she's never, I've never seen her mopey. I've never seen her, she could be a bitch, but she would never bring something down,
Right.
she'll like when she comes in, it's like, it's just fun. It's like, she always just brings she's the life of the party.
Yeah.
So
I felt that from her, and you'll feel it when you listen to the podcast. She's like, I mean, I could be friends with her, it'd be fun, like to hang out with Melissa somewhere at a bar and have a couple drinks. And she's easy to get along with. And there's a couple things I didn't get to ask, but I want to, your mother-in-law, she seems like she was all in, like from day one with basketball. Like was there ever a time you felt with her, like she wavered, like she wasn't really into it? Cause like she seems all in,
She's she definitely is all in, but she's very selfless. Like she just gives, like she always almost like does what she just goes with the flow with whoever she's like with us, with them. Like she'll never say, no, I want to do this, or I don't want to go. Like, or I don't want, like, it's always yes. It's always, supportive. It's always, I don't know, it's just,
Yeah.
she's just very, she's like the perfect coach's wife,
Yeah. Like we say, you and I have said this so many times, like not everybody can do this. And
No.
she's an example of somebody that like has been doing this for so long, has had like the ultimate success. I mean, her husband's a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, that's insane, so
And she
kudos to her.
sacrificed. Yeah, she's I mean,
Yeah.
we know what we sacrificed. She sacrificed a ton. So, but
Yeah.
it's really great. But I mean, and again, I wanted to, I'm excited to have them on. You'll hopefully hear their episode, but I wanted to also just tell everybody that, you know what, like we're coaches' wives, getting it out there, getting stories out there, trying to get people who have been through these experiences to share, to help other people, which is exciting because these people wanted to hear something like that. And, here you go.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to do this. But remember, we're only coaches' wives. We are not professionals. We are doing our best. We are improving every week with our little podcast
Our
here.
little work in progress.
It is.
But, and if there's things that people want to, or types of people that they want to hear us interview, maybe, DM, send a Twitter message or an Instagram message, and, we'll find those people to talk to, hopefully.
Yes, we have very exciting people coming up, and we're excited to get them out to you. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, five stars. Isn't it five?
Yes, please. 5 stars.
Welcome to Ball is Wife podcast. Today I have a very special podcast because I have my family on here. I have my mother-in-law, Chris Hurley, and my sister-in-law, Melissa Hurley, here with Nicole and I. So thank you guys for coming on. And Chris, once again, I appreciate it.
Thank you. I love it. Thanks for having us.
It's so nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for being our guest today. It's going to be a good one.
Listen, thanks for dealing with my sister-in-law this whole time.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
We've been getting DMs. It's so fun because people are actually DMing us, just talking about different things that they like about the podcast. And we've got a few from other coaches' wives who have requested that we had a daughter of a coach on, an adult daughter, to just because of the fact that they're raising, like a lot of, like this, actually 2 women have 2 older sons and a daughter. And they just said, like, it feels like they're dragging their daughter through a boy's world, and they feel like they have all these, they just feel so bad that they just, are they not doing the right thing of, letting her have her girl life, but you can't help it because you get so sucked into your program. So I thought, who better to have on this podcast that I could literally pull out every feeling than my sister-in-law, because
So she was schlepped everywhere.
Because what?
But she was schlepped everywhere.
She was schlepped everywhere. Okay, now I went back and now Melissa, when you were born, which was like what, 1980?
Yes.
1980. Bob already won. Okay, let me just say who Bob is, because this is one of my problems. I always forget to say, okay, my father-in-law, Bob Hurley, is a Hall of Fame coach who coached St. Anthony's High School in Jersey City for 45 years. He's got like 20 some, 30 some state titles. I mean, Hall of Fame, SB, have every award under the sun, built a powerhouse program, has helped hundreds and hundreds of kids, boys in the city, do, I mean, amazing work. And by that time, Melissa, when you were born, I think he already won like 5 or 6 state titles. So he was already like determined and well on the way to build a powerhouse program. So this wasn't just a job that he did after work. So Chris, did you, like, when Melissa was born, did you schlep her to games then? Like everybody needs to know, like, is it from when they're born? Like, when Melissa was little, or was she older? Did you get more involved in the sport?
No, from when she was born. Yeah, I went to every game. Poor Melissa, took her to every game. Yeah, from about when she was born. I mean, but then it was what we did. And you have to realize too that there's a big age difference between her two brothers and her.
Right.
So
Well, yeah, it was
at
10
that time, like
But 10 or 11?
them
10 and
two,
8 years.
yeah. So they were at an age where I'm not just going to let them go to the gym, go to a game and me not be there. So it was
Oh yeah,
like,
could you imagine them just going with dad?
yeah.
Well, that was a question.
Where they wouldn't come home. I mean, the
That-
two of them would just.
Do you think
stay-
a diaper would have gotten changed during the practice?
Oh no. Oh no. But like, did you send okay, so when Melissa was born, like you didn't say, Danny, Bobby, go to practice with dad. So I could stay home with Melissa and like get rid of them for a little bit. Like,
That absolutely. But as far as going to games, I enjoyed going to the games. So yeah, I did. I took her. Yeah.
yeah, because you saw what they were building and it was just something special, it was just, this fun, and it's fun to be a part of it. And I know we've discussed this before, but then you took up doing the scorebook at Bob's games. So you were like elbow deep into the program. How old was Melissa and the kids? Like that, was that later on?
So Bobby was a freshman when I started doing the book. So Bobby was
Oh,
14. So
I was about 4. So
she
this
was
would
4.
kind of be all those times where I have pictures of being sleeping on top of ball bags.
yeah.
The games would be late, and I would make a bed out of coats and the top of the ball bag.
Yeah. Melissa, I can relate because Andrea and I talked briefly. I grew up with 2 older brothers in a big sports family, not quite as big as your family's sporting life, but so I was dragged everywhere also. I remember walking baseball fields, looking for friends, just waiting to go to Carvel after the game.
Yeah.
So I
No,
feel your pain. I feel it.
Forget it. And please, it's like
I can remember taking them to the park, and Danny and Bobby would be shooting and I'd be rebounding or something. And there's like a little play area, and Melissa would have her doll and I'd go, all right, just go over there and play with it. I mean, you could never do that now. She wouldn't be around.
I'm
Right.
sure Child Protective Services would probably have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But at the time it was like,
Yeah. I remember you would work them out in the courts. They would have like all the shooting drills, and I would be right in the little playground and pushing my doll on the swing. And it was like 8 a.m. Oh no, I remember walking up the road in Country Village. I remember going to the park. I also remember my darling brother Danny, after those workouts, remember when like he would have you buy tennis rackets, and then he would like have me playing on the tennis court and like tell me I was going to be the next Jennifer Capriati on the tennis court. Like, oh yeah. So it just, yep. Mhm. Oh yeah. I think I was 6.
Well, that's it. And you didn't know any better. Like you grew up in a boys' world, and you didn't know any better. Now, what about like when you got older? I know people like I guess this is one of like the nervous, the nerves that they have about raising a girl in a boys' world is that did basketball keep you from ever going to any events? Like, did you ever resent basketball when you got older, when you were able to, like, when you see your friends hanging out, when you see like things going on, like, did anything like that be like, you know what, like this sucks?
No, you know what? I honestly think that as I got older, I think more or less because the teams were doing so well. And at that point, when I was in high school, Danny was at Rutgers already. Danny was at Rutgers when I was in high school. So therefore, like when basketball events took place, or if he had a game or my dad had a game, people wanted to come with me to the game. So
Right.
I mean, that was probably the worst issue we had, was trying to break we weren't allowed to ride in the car with my dad before the game because we all never went in the car together. So we can't do that. Just like when you went to the Rutgers game, you couldn't go here when Big Danny was home, everything was based on superstition. So,
Well, that's another question I have, but go
but
ahead.
no, it didn't really hold me back. I think people wanted to, I guess, become part of our little world, because you have to think, like, as a high school girl, most of the times they're pretty crazy boy obsessed. So a lot of people wanted to come watch the games and kind of were envious that I had 16, 17 older brothers at all times. And
See,
I
but,
mean,
yeah,
more or
yeah, but
less.
when she was in grammar school and the boys were in college, then I think that
Oh,
was.
well, then I had
that
so many
was
friends
fun.
that wanted to.
Because we would go down and see Bobby play. Then we'd go see Danny play. We'd be at the Meadowlands all the time watching Seton Hall play. And I don't know. I thought it was a pretty fun life. What do you think?
I was literally friends with the people that worked at the Meadowlands, because they would escort us down. I actually remember taking my own children to the Meadowlands for like Frozen on Ice, and seeing one of the men that worked at the Izod at the arena. He was still working there, and he was like, "Oh my God, how is your brother? How's your dad?" Like, they still remember after all those years, because we were there all the time.
Okay, so wait. So okay, let's just jump. I have my little outline that I'm trying to do, trying to do
Blowing.
better. Which it goes to shit. But no, it's me. But okay, let's just talk about. You just said the Meadowlands, which brings my head into the Duke Seton Hall game. And as I put in my notes here, is that you learned as a little girl, it's a very cruel world out there. People are not nice. And I know it's kind of like I was shook the first few times. Actually, I was shook. The first time I ever really paid attention at a sporting event was Danny's. I was at Danny's senior night. Ironically, Seton Hall played UConn at senior night. Danny's last year. And I was up I gave my dad and my brother my student tickets, and I went all the way to the top and with my mom, and we were at the game, and they were yelling things at Danny. And I remember I wasn't with Danny at that point. I didn't meet him until March. And they were so rude. Now, I can't imagine being at when Seton Hall played Duke. And you had I know I've seen it, you sat in the stands with your little jacket, and half of it was Duke, half of it was Seton Hall. I mean, it had to be the worst, but, fun experience. Like, was any of the fans, do you remember as a little girl, any of the fans being brutal?
At that game, I don't remember. I mean,
How old were you?
Danny was I'm 1980. Danny was at Seton Hall in 1990.
Danny was a sophomore.
No.
Junior.
I was probably like maybe 11 or 12. 11 or 12-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
1992.
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't remember there necessarily, because I don't. But I also think that was because it was the NCAA tournament. So you're thinking that it wasn't all the diehard Seton Hall fans, but the diehard Duke fans. You would get a mixture of everybody that was playing in the arena. So not there necessarily, but I mean,
they could have been there, but you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I remember going to Seton Hall games and leaving and like just listening to the things that they yelled at Danny, or like at other, like, I couldn't even believe that there were people that I don't even want to say passionate, because I don't even know if passionate would be the correct
psychotic
term. Yes, but like you're yelling at a kid who's
irrational fans.
Yes, like just yelling blatantly, like saying things, whether it was your brother's better or what, things that just to get under their skin. Like, and I don't think I know they definitely did yell things at my dad time after time, but like, I don't think I ever thought that until like fully being immersed into Seton Hall and being there at like the Izod Center, or what technically Meadowlands at the time, that it would be as bad as it was. It was brutal. But then you also have to think, like, after even going to games now, or even when like in high school, like people went on the forums and would say, like when Danny was at coaching at St. Benedict's and my dad at St. Anthony's at the same time, things that they would type into the forums about the same things that they'd be yelling and spewing at games. They went online and they were vicious. Like I remember creating like accounts and like getting so upset over the things that they were saying. I'd be making like fake logins with like different names because you're defending them because it's so hurtful that
so hurtful,
these horrible things that
we would actually go to a Seton Hall game. And before I sat down, I'd look at everybody around me and I'd go, I'm Danny Hurley's mom. So do me a favor.
Yes.
And have respect.
Yeah.
Just, keep your mouth shut. And then I always used to say, and wasn't really the kids that were doing it.
It's
the adults. And that was the most hurtful part.
Well, we said that, Andrea, in one of our earlier podcasts, it's always like, older man, sorry, but then you're like, it's interesting that you're that upset about this game right now. Like,
I have money on it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, I don't think about that.
But it's hard. Like, it's hard to think about being an impressionable, like at 18, 19, 20 years old, you're impressionable and you're going out there and I mean, you have a bad shooting game. They crucify you for having a bad shooting game. Like even now you go on and you look at the different, like if you don't win, right under it, it's either the coach's fault, the point guard's fault, naming everybody like, oh, he was terrible. I mean, God forbid the kid has a bad day.
Oh God. We know that.
Yeah.
Even here, I mean, we beat St. John's in overtime the other day, and and it was on Instagram because I don't even go on Facebook. Not Facebook. I don't go on Twitter or the other things. And on one of the comments, it said an overtime win to St. John's is equivalent to a loss. Like, what are you talking about? They just beat Seton. Like, what do you? I don't know.
No,
like,
because they don't.
Well, they don't know what goes into it.
And that's the part, that I can't handle. And I can't imagine having a daughter like that has to see and hear that, because the sensitivity of it. I mean, I have my two boys that are extremely sensitive to negative comments and whatever else. So like, bringing, like just having a girl to bring in to hear that, it's just, you want to protect them from things, and girls are sensitive, and, not to say that boys aren't, but, it's just the sports life is just very harsh to me. That's why I don't know if I've never gotten into it. I've never, it's never been my thing. It's because I don't like that kind of talk. I don't like that, so, and just the tension, and bringing me back to Melissa, when you were little, like, tension, it's like, they all don't like to lose, especially a Hurley. Hurley's losing is just like, it's excruciating, and they don't get over it. So how did you, as a little girl, or even any time of your life, like your dad comes home, now your dad's Bob, and let me just clear up another point. And we all know this, like they see our family members coaching, all of us, and they think they're nuts, they don't know the real person. And it's like, but yes, they are passionate, and they bring it home to an extent, not that they're breaking dishes and flipping out and flipping chairs over, but they do come home after something, after a loss or a bad practice, and there is tension. And you're like, I mean, I'm still having a hard time with it. How did you, as a little girl, or even high school, whatever, did you just know to keep away, not go around anybody?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No, you definitely learn to keep away. I mean, no, fortunately,
we didn't lose that.
I was just going to,
thank God.
Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with that much.
Good for you.
Except for the really bad years. But no, I mean, it's definitely, even those bad years though, even winning and the kids not having a good game, you were nowhere near dad. I went nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
You would find somewhere else in the house. You would go hide in that said room, and you would find something to do. I mean, think of like Thanksgiving the one year at your mom's, and the Cowboys were on, and like something happened, and I was like, oh God, Dad, it's just a game. And I was like crucified, and I would never say that again. Now it's like a laughing joke. Like, forget it. He doesn't even play for the Cowboys, doesn't he?
He didn't even have a horse in the race. Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question? Melissa, did you ever feel, and your mom can answer this too, did you ever feel pressure to play basketball? Did you play? Were you on an organized team?
I did play, Nicole. I played until my sophomore year of high school. And then
Junior year.
I didn't make it past Nicole the first 2 weeks of junior year. So we'll say I played till the end of my sophomore year. Then
Okay.
junior, my team wasn't very good. So the winning, and then I was losing.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt like I was missing out on everything else. Like it wasn't something that I truly loved. My parents didn't push me into continuing. So that was
good. Yeah.
as long, and I went to all the games and did things like that. So it was,
Yeah. Yeah.
it filled the basketball void. They weren't going to let me sit home and go
Of course.
go hang out everywhere. So, I mean, I was still being,
Right. You had to do something. Yeah.
but
And it was good for 2 years.
it's great.
I guess it wasn't that
Yeah.
bad.
No, I think I definitely probably did it more to appease you and Dad than because I loved it. I mean, I love watching it. We're all fully immersed in it. So, I mean, it's not like I can escape it. I mean, poor Andrea got suckered into it, and look at, she's still here.
I'm handling it well. I'm like dying. I'm literally dying like every day. Okay, now let's talk about, you know what? Like, and it's so crazy because I came into your life at this point, like high school. And I honestly don't remember too many boys coming around. I mean, they did, but you had a lot of boy friends, but I don't think there was too many brave souls that wanted to come around the Hurley house to be around Melissa. I mean, am I right with this? Because
Have you met?
I wouldn't
your
if I was a
husband?
boy.
Have you met
Your
your
hu-
husband? Have you met my dad? I don't know. They were very intimidating, and
That's what I'm saying.
most
Yeah,
of the
but
time that I spent was with like I mean, kids that grew up in the neighborhood.
In the
So
neighborhood in Avon, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Delaney's and that whole like crew.
yeah, but I mean, otherwise, I mean, nobody was
Nobody,
really.
let me say something. I could tell you, I can promise you nobody was sneaking in through windows at the
Oh.
Hurley house.
No,
No,
they
No.
would have. Bob would have killed them.
no.
Yeah. Somebody would have.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I had definitely more friends than boyfriends, but I mean, nobody was gonna 17 older big brothers that would be on rotation every 4 years, a new crew. So I don't know that. I mean, come on. And then once Danny left Rutgers and then went to St. Benedict, so that was a whole
And you were married by that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the boys started.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and then all of a sudden there's Gabe, your husband.
Yes, then there's Gabe.
It literally, he came out of nowhere and then you were married. And I mean, you married a soccer coach.
Because he didn't
Technically,
know much about basketball.
thank God, because imagine that one.
Exactly.
And now you have two kids that, I mean, you have my niece and nephew, my Anna and Gabe, who are very into sports, mostly soccer and basketball, right? Both of them. And I think that was such a good thing that they were able to get around. Like they see the passion that goes behind sports and what it takes. I mean, kids nowadays, they just think that you go to practice once or twice a week and then you're going to get to pro. Like your kids know what it takes to give 100%, and they do. Like, and your husband pushes it, and you guys have such a great balance. Talk about how the way you grew up, how you brought that into your family, but not as intense, but like how you go, you follow your dad's and your mom's way of raising kids.
Oh, full disclosure, I don't leave my children unattended in playgrounds. My parents did. So,
You can't.
I heard that.
yeah, somebody, don't worry, nobody's coming to get Gabe and Anna later. No, it's just you learn to, like, you watch how everybody works. You watch how hard the workouts and going to camps and listening to advice and different things like that. And you know that you can't just go turn on FIFA or NBA 2K and learn how to play a sport or things like that. And you have to actually put in the effort. And that's the thing, like you have to, whether it's even just staying healthy and fit, like going and exercising and walking and running and doing things like that. And that you have to do. And if you want to become better, you have to put in the work. I mean, Gabe and Anna are lucky they see it from every angle. Like they have Uncle Danny, who they know how much he puts in because they know they rarely see him during the season. Think about unless we get to a game, he leaves, he's out of the house before we come over. If we stay over, he's out of the house. He's already there. He's working out the team. There's 8,000 things that go into it. And that rubs off onto them because if you don't work hard, you're not going to be able to achieve those goals. And that's
Right.
putting in all the work and playing on 800 teams and doing 7,000 things where you never see a friend unless they're on your sports team.
Yeah. Yes. And we've been blessed to be so close to our family, like to be at programs that you are able to join. And I think that's so important. I've said it before, like when you have your family around and you have the kids in your family, just, fans and wearing your gear and just so proud of, what you put into a program and the dedication. There's something about it. And like I said, we've been so blessed to be so close to family. I mean, being Rhode Island, and then now being here is so nice that, you just hop in a car and you could just get to it. And it's really special. And I mean, I have to just tell this one story about, I know we all have superstitions. It's the Hurley family thing. It's you guys have superstitions like crazy. We were in the NCAA tour. No, what was it, Melissa, that I told you, I said I like literally told you to get in a car. Rhode Island won the,
it was Danny's first, it was a
championship game.
Yes. With Rhode Island. Yes. Oh God. Remember that?
Yes.
So Danny makes it. Your mom and Kenny had been up there. And so they win the semis, and it was Saturday night they win the semis, and little Gabe and I are like, oh, we want to go. My mom and dad are like, absolutely not. We are not going. We were not at any of those games.
Yeah.
We're with the same t-shirts on, in the same spots in the couch, having the same snacks that we had.
That's what blew me.
Yeah.
I said, Chris, I'm like, do you want to come? Are you going to come to the game? And it was like a hard no. I have the same sweatshirt on that I've been wearing for the past couple of days. I'm sitting in the same spot on the couch, and I'm going to eat the same bag of pretzels that I'm like, what are you talking about? And I called Melissa and I said, get them off the freaking couch and get in a car and get over here now. And you're like, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, I promise they will not be blamed if we lose. Like, hurry up. So they jumped in the car and they came, which was
at 4 a.m. We left Jersey City to go to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
To Pittsburgh. That lovely drive through the mountains.
yes.
Well worth it. It was
Yes.
good.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Superstitions. Like, now, do you guys still, which I know you do, so don't lie. Do you have superstitions? Tell everybody your superstitions that you guys have for anything, even your own kids.
Oh, well, for UConn, now I don't have to wear it anymore. But I always had this one shirt. We beat St. Bonaventure's. We beat like all big wins. And I was like, oh my God, this is my winning shirt. And then I wore it to the Seton Hall game. However, I threw on a sweatshirt on top of it. So I kind of thought that kind of killed
That was
the mojo.
Yeah, I think that kind of ruined my superstition. But no, that's definitely it.
Yeah. And I wear the same shirt, the Yukon with the 12 on the back.
Yeah.
I never wear it like if I'm home. I'll wear it with a pair of sweatpants, or else I'll wear it with this other pair of jeans. And I wore different jeans to the Seton Hall game, and I am so annoyed that I did that.
Yeah.
So the Seton Hall game is all our fault. They did not win.
Probably.
It was because of us and the lack of
I told a story. I don't know if you listened in one of our earlier podcasts about switching our seats when we were in Memphis. Derek was an assistant and we lost to Kansas in the championship game, and we had switched our seats, and me and one of the assistant coaches were like, it's totally our fault. We should have never switched our seats. Like, that's what it is. And you believe it and you feel it. And it's like,
I mean, you guys moving those seats totally affected the kids.
It absolutely did. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything worked.
Yeah,
No, I mean, But I don't have any superstitions with my own children. Yes.
No.
Sorry.
No,
With my
yeah,
own kids, I don't have any superstitions yet. But I mean, I'm sure.
I'm sure you will.
Yes, eventually. When it like they're at the age where nothing is that significant, where it really matters.
Yes.
Like obviously, UConn winning the games that we attend, those matter. So we have to make sure we follow those superstitions. You, Mom?
yeah, no. I'm
Yeah.
good now.
Oh no, but Daddy used to always. What did he do? He used to wear like those vests, and they used to change every game.
Yes.
So until they had a vest, and the vest would change colors after each game. And if they lost in one color, that one got burned. That one went right into the garbage.
And he also doesn't.
Go ahead, Andrea. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
How stressed your dad gets, Melissa, at watching UConn? Like,
oh my God.
Forget it.
Oh,
wait,
night.
oh my gosh, wait. I called. I must have been driving home. No, I forgot. I called. It was like the first 5 minutes of the game. So she answers the phone and I hear him in the background going, "What's she calling here for? Does she not realize there's a game on right now?" Like yelling at me through the phone. I'm not allowed to call. Nobody can call during the games.
Oh no, our phone should never ring because everyone should know that UConn's on.
That's right. Yeah.
Or there's a game on. Forget it. Like it's. But even like I don't think. Well, yesterday, I will text you, Andrea, but I don't think I call or I'll call you on a game day, but not
You
text
did.
you. Yeah.
No, you did. You called and I answered. Which was the first time. So I hung up and I said, if we lose, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that would have been our fault for having a conversation over something that really had to occur. If it would have been our fault if they lost.
Yeah. My game days. I don't like to pick up the phone only because I don't want to be mean to people. You know, I'm so nervous that I don't want to be short. So that's why I do not, but sometimes I do. If I forget, like if I feel comfortable, I'll do it, but you can't feel comfortable.
Now, Bob not only worries about UConn winning, but since RJ played for Bob in high school,
right,
also worries that RJ is not going to play well. So now, like it's a double for the last years. It's been like a double, a double.
Yeah. I mean, God forbid.
A double worry.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. None of us will go and sleep over at your house before a game. I don't know if people volunteer to sleep at Nicole's house on game before a game, but nobody in our family will volunteer to go sleep over unless like we know for sure they're playing somebody where it's not going to be like too much of a stress day of the game. Because
the one thing that
like this
that I will say drives us crazy in a nice way. We're not trying to pick on any of our loyal friends and family, but when people ask you for tickets on game day, like, I'm sure that doesn't happen to you guys, but it's like, don't you guys know it's like 2 hours before the game? Like you can't ask for tickets on game day. You got to have it like the day before. That's our pet peeve with that stuff. But
yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I don't mind because I don't really have too many people that I give tickets to here. It's like Rhode Island. I had, we had like a lot more people that I knew that wanted to go, but now not so much. It's so funny because my in-laws came to the game a few games ago, and my nail lady, I think I even said this, that he was at the game, and I said, "This is my nail lady," and Bob said, "What is this, a Seinfeld episode?" Like, because I don't have that many people that she's like one of my friends, like she's at the game, like she brought her kids. I don't have, like I keep saying, a group, it's 4 years, but still it's like, so yeah, here in Connecticut, I have a lot more tickets to give away if anybody wants them.
Now everyone's going to start DMing you.
Here's this now. They'll all be calling you.
Long lost relatives will be coming through the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But all right.
Charge for them.
Your nail lady circa like St. Benedict's, they'll be calling you next.
If they could drive to Connecticut, that's true. Oh my God. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for doing this. I think people will see that, growing up in a basketball family, I mean, yes, even if even girls. I mean, I had to learn to adjust to this life. I'm not very into, like just all that tension, and I don't like that. I never did. I was a nervous little girl, like, and here I am, just trying to, like I said, it's so many more blessings than not. I say that all the time, but it is still stressful. And this is why we're doing this podcast. And it's for everybody. We're trying to get everybody, we're trying to help everybody, our fans and our families, to deal with stresses of the season and growing up. And I think having children, growing them when they're growing up in this amazing life that we have, they get to see so much hard work, dedication. Of course it comes with pressures and everything else, but there's so much more positive than negatives. And you grow up to be, to really be decent people, because you see what goes into making something great. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for all your support always with us. And we love you.
Andrea.
Are you kidding?
Thank
We love
you.
you.
I
Hey,
wouldn't have it
listen.
any other way.
Exactly. And growing up this way made me become a teacher, because I watched all of them teach.
Yes, exactly.
And hey, look at me. And I'm
Yeah.
20 years as a
That's-
teacher. So
It was a pleasure meeting both of you. Thank you. I've
Thank
heard so
you.
much about you
Thank you.
guys. Yes, you're both inspiring. I loved hearing the stories. Seriously, genuinely. Thank you.
thank
Thank you.